We're recording.
Okay,
I just
so
found it.
what I'm going to show you is on this little stuff we've been working on. We're going to do some glazing and then some scumbling, which are finishing techniques. I may end up punching up some of the, sharpening some of the edges and punching up some of the highlights before Nick shuts the video off, but I just want to show you glazing. One way I could darken something, like if I wanted to darken my background and get more blue in it, I take this big brush, it's a number 12, but you can use something as small as an 8, dip it in my my neomeglip, and I'm going to just go right into straight ultramarine. And I'm really thinning it down, okay? I really put a lot of meglip in there, neomeglip. And watch. I'm basically I'm glazing this color and I'm really putting a very thin layer of this blue on. And I'm sort of moving it around, and it automatically will basically darken my background. Because I'm putting basically a dark blue over already a dark background. The background, of course, everything is dry. Okay, so we'll do a little more. I'm not going to finish the whole thing. I just want to show you guys how to do this. This is called glazing. Okay, now let me turn the light on, and I want to glaze in some of the reflected lights from the cloth into the computer. If you look at that, again, I'm still using this blue, clean brush, pure blue, a lot of medium. And what I see, you couldn't really see it because the background was so dark. I actually see some reflected blue light, and I'm going to actually just glaze it in over the dry painting. We'll use a little more medium. And I see the reflected light coming up from the cloth onto basically the bottoms of these
Goblets.
You see, I'm just glazing this blue over. And again, there's a little bit under the rim here, a little bit under this rim. You see how that goes on? It's really up. You can actually see through it. That's the whole point. Okay. Again, on this, there's some, because this is turning around. You can see I'm actually getting more form because I'm actually showing some of the reflective light coming up from the tablecloth. Now, I can actually go in and darken a few things in my cast shadows if I want. Again, on this, I see some darks. I can just glaze those back in. Okay, so that's glazing. And let me glaze in, again, make the interior cup a little darker, a little bluer. Okay, now, and I can knock things down by glazing too. So if I think things are a little too light, I can just essentially knock them down a little bit. I can reestablish some of my darks. Remember, this was a little bit darker until we started putting the midtones in. I can just knock this down a little bit. Okay. Now, scumbling. All right, I'm going to take a number, let's see, number 4. So that's number 4 filbert. Again, it's clean. I'm not putting it in any turpentine. I'm going to go in and get some really thick white paint here. And this really thick white paint, okay, has a touch of orange in it. Okay, and this is just to demonstrate the glazing technique. Basically glazing, all I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to go back and refine a few of the highlights, but what I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to drag the brush across, and I want the paint to break. So I'm trying, again, I'm dragging an opaque paint over a dried underpainting, and again, I'm trying to get it to break. Okay, and again, I'm getting this paint to break, so you can actually still see some of the painting under it, even though I'm just dragging this this opaque paint across the dried underpainting. Here I'm just barely dragging it across, and again I'm mixing it with some of the blue, that was that I just glazed in. And again, I'm trying to get some form. You see, by dragging, I'm just dragging the brush. I'm trying to get some form by just dragging the brush in the direction of the cup. Okay, so, and then I could do some, I could get a little more white. And again, I'm keeping that, I'm not mixing any medium in it, just thick, opaque white paint. And I could look, put a few details in, glazing a few details on this cloth. There's some white patterns here, and I could just sort of glaze them in sort of a random abstract fashion. And again, I could sharpen some of these edges here by glazing in a little bit near the edge, and the cloth, of course. Again, I could do a little bit with the background. Okay. Okay, so you guys get the idea. That's glazing. Okay, that's again a finishing technique. Okay, cut it.